Hi guys, I hope you guys are doing well. I'm in really bad lighting. But today is Thursday, June 10th, 2021. So welcome to our second week in June on a Thursday. Tonight, the series finale of Rebel airs. Unfortunately, the amount of signatures to be picked up by ABC again is not high in ratings. However, we're doing our very best to, and by we I mean pretty much anyone who's watched the show and likes the show is doing their best to sign the petition to get it to come back on a different network. It's a really good show, but if you haven't, the series finales tonight, episode 9 and 10 are tonight. They're combining into 2 hours since Grey's Anatomy and Station 19 wrapped last week. So that's just a little bit, I'll talk a little bit about that and kind of just give you a general idea as to what the show is. In case you ever decide you want to watch it, if it comes out on Netflix at some point or whatever it is, then that way you can watch it. But yeah. And then, we'll just discuss a little bit about what today has looked like so far, what I've done today, what the weekend and tomorrow are going to look like, and so forth and so on, and the motivational quotes. I have told a few people who asked me, so sometimes in advance, people will ask me, what is the vlog about for the day? And today we're focusing on, for the motivational quote, it's all about your insecurities and spreading that positive vibe about your insecurities. So, leading into the quotes, one of my favorite artists and poets of all time, two people have said this, but it's been reiterated all over. So one of my favorite poets, Maya Angelou, every time she says, I don't know if anybody remembers her poems, but one of her poems, she always talked about, I will not be silenced, or taken down by, because I'm a woman, because I'm the minority, because I'm different than everybody else. She's said this in many interviews, and also a lot of artists of mine. So one of my favorite artists of all time. I have so many, but currently at the moment, one of my favorite artists is, well, I listen to a lot of Jackson 5, and because we're doing Jackson 5 for choir and stuff. But the point is that Jackson 5 also said this quote, and so the quote for today, for Thursday, June 10th. Wow, it's June 10th already. Summer goes too fast. Is confidence is silent and your insecurities are loud. And I wanted to make a bold statement with it. So I put hearts and I put an exclamation point because it's important to know that being confident is a good thing to have, right? But your insecurities as well should be louder than your confidence. If you're so confident that you can ace a math, let's use a different scenario. You're so confident that you are going to get into Harvard or Yale, well, what part of you, everybody has insecurities, of your insecurities, what insecurities make you better than the rest to get into Harvard? Because it's not just, a lot of schools, this is true, they do look at grades and they look at what you've done in high school, but they also look at like who you are as a person. It's not all about test scores and that. And sadly, in the past, it has been that way. My mom, for example, she's a vet now, right? She applied so she graduated high school in, I gotta do the math, 90. Hold on, 83, 90, 91. Oh my goodness, I couldn't think. She graduated high school in 1991, and she applied to go to U of I for vet school because that was the only vet school in Illinois, and she wanted to stay local. She knew that. She wouldn't be like local, like drive in, drive out every day. But she wanted to be local so she could be close with her parents and her brother, who was still in high school. My uncle was a freshman at the time. Would be a sophomore going into when she became a freshman in college. And yeah, so that was the entire goal. But the thing is, she got rejected the first time, and she was like, well, why did I get rejected? And then she looked at her application and she told me, she goes, my application mainly was test scores, and what I've done in high school. It didn't show who I am as a person and what part of me and the insecurities that make me who I am to get accepted there. And so she cried and she told me, and that she was upset, of course, and as you would be if you don't get into a college that the year that you want. And but she applied again the following year and she got in, and she went to U of I for 4 years and she became a vet and she got her DVM, and Now she's been working where she's been for the last 21 years. And she's happy and she loves it, and she gets to see puppies and kittens and this little turtle named Little Guy, who's the cutest ever. And yeah, but the point of the story is she didn't get accepted the first time, but she also didn't let her insecurities define her. You know what I mean? So her confidence, she was so confident, and in the sidelines, the confidence is always silent over your insecurities. She was so confident she was going to get in the first time, but she didn't. And vet school in general is just so competitive. It is very competitive, but she allowed her insecurities and said, you know what, I didn't get in. This is actually who I am. I may have fibbed a bit and to hope to get in. And she used those insecurities and made them louder in her actions, in her applications, and in her process of applying to U of I again for vet school. And she made it happen. And she didn't let her insecurities be silent. Instead, she chose to let her insecurities be loud and allow her to pursue her dream of being a vet, which she had known since she wanted to do since she was 8. So always remember, confidence is so important, but so is being who you are and allowing those insecurities to shape who you are as a person in society and as a human being, and to become who you are. So never forget that your insecurities can make you who you are. I'd be hypocritical if I said I don't have insecurities. I have insecurities right now sitting here in front of you that you physically can see, and some you can't see. So, but I don't let them define me. I don't let them define my academic success. I don't let it define my emotional stability, my stability in general, who I am as a person, how I act towards people. I don't let any of my insecurities define that. And I think it's hard for us to accept our insecurities a lot of the time, because our insecurities, you know, they may be abnormal, but there's always, you know, we don't know if other people. We always feel so isolated, and we feel like maybe there's somebody who doesn't have this, and I'm the only one, and I'm so insecure. But we don't know unless we actually embrace those insecurities. So my advice to you for today, and from the quote, is embrace those insecurities. Your confidence is so important as well, but embracing the confidence that goes along with your insecurities is so much more important than letting your confidence ride along by itself and letting your insecurities ride along by itself. They gotta meet halfway somewhere. Yeah. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to mention is, like I said, Rebel is the ABC production, right? It was a first season and an end season. Basically, they aired their first episode on April 8th. It was a new show and stuff, and I was like, oh, cool, you know, it was replacing one day at a time, a million little things. And so I watched the first episode. I didn't watch it the night of because I was tired, but I watched it the next day. I was like, oh, this is so good. So the story follows Annie Ray Bello. She was an ex-lawyer, and she advocates for people's rights, kind of similar in the lawyer aspect. Her daughter, Cassidy Ray, is a lawyer. Her second husband, Benji Ray, is a lawyer. Her best friend, who was her brother-in-law because of her sister was Sharon, but her sister Sharon had passed, and her sister's husband was a lawyer and is a lawyer. So basically she advocates rights, but she's not physically a lawyer. You know, she had 3 kids with 3 separate husbands, she had to drop out of high school and do stuff like that, and she was trying to find ways of how she could advocate for others and to support her kids. She managed to do that. She did that, and so she works in the advocation and free rights, and she wanted everyone to know about what was happening. And so the plot of this entire season, and the only season because ABC canceled it way too soon and didn't give it a chance to have ratings, basically the whole plot is that Stonemar has these heart valves, and these heart valves that are going into people are slowly killing people. And so many people's lives are lost. They're starting to show sense of fatigue, discoloration in their skin, like jaundice, like weakness, short of breath, not able to breathe. One of the patients who got the valve was pregnant, and her baby died from the valve. There was no connection, but her baby did die shortly after. She gave birth to her baby, and it was a stillborn, and it was connected later on to find out. So the whole entire plot is trying to get Julian Cruz, who is the brother-in-law of Annie Ray Bello, to fight against her second husband, Benji Ray, in a court case for Stonemore versus Julian Cruz Associates, the lawyers associates, to sue and say that these valves are hurting people and we need to take them out of every single person who has gone to Stonemore valve. So the entire story just like follows like the process as to how do you get an attorney, how do you figure out who's who, how do you get patient access for trials, how do you get people to witness, how do you get people to want to testify in court, all these things. And so I think it was very interesting because I was like, this is really good, and I loved watching it, and I was like, oh, and then there's so many, I don't want to spoil it. I don't think anybody's gonna really, honestly, anybody who watches this, I don't think they're gonna watch it. But I was telling my friends, I'm like, did you guys watch Rebel and stuff? And they're like, no, we did not. I'm like, oh my god, guys, it's so good, how could you not watch it? And so my friends and I were like, they're like, no, we watched Station 19 and Grace, but we weren't watching Rebel. It's like, it's so good. And I was like, oh, I hope they get it renewed for a second season. They did not get renewed for a second season. Their series finale is tonight, and I'm so sad because I'm like, oh, but it's such a good show, and I wish it has more time. If it had more time, it would have been given so much more potential if ABC had just waited out 2 more weeks like they did with Grey's and like they did with Station 19. If they had waited 2 more weeks, their turnout would have been so much higher instead of canceling it right then and there. So you had people signing petitions and stuff, and there's over like 200 million people who have signed the petition across the world. But it's not going to get picked up by ABC. It's been canceled. So hopefully, I really hope, because this is the second time they've tried to do this with this one, and it's hard to, it aired in the middle of April, so I think that's also very hard, is that when time it aired, if it aired at the start in like November, when Grey's Anatomy and Station 19 had aired their season premiere, it probably would have made more sense, and you probably would have gotten better view turnouts, but it is what it is. But if you are looking for a show to watch tonight, Grey's Anatomy, of course, is done until September. Same goes for Station 19. But if you really are looking for something, I would highly recommend that you guys go check out Rebel. The finale is on, series finale is on tonight for, if you are in Central Time, it's at 8 p.m. If you are Eastern Time, it's 9 p.m. If you are on Montana Time, it's 8 p.m. And if you're on California time, it's also 8 p.m. So I highly recommend it, whatever your time zone is, because I have people who watch from all over. But yeah, whatever your time zone is, you do you, and I hope that you guys are able to tune in and watch, so that I have more people to talk to about it, so that we can sign a petition and be like, yeah, Rebel deserves to stay, because I really enjoyed it, and I'm sad that it's going. But yeah, I just realized after tonight I'm not gonna have any Thursday night plans. But that's okay. Anyways, that was all I really wanted to talk about, and I promised a shorter vlog today because I'm already running for 13.5 minutes. I'm trying to get shorter and shorter and shorter each day, or try and keep it at a consistent time frame, because I know that I talk and I blab and I blab and I blab and I blab, and then it's just like nobody really wants to watch a 20-minute video of me sitting here talking to you guys, you know what I mean? There's a few people who do, but you know what I mean. It's also come to my attention that the video from last night was under kids guidance, so it wasn't allowing people to comment their suggestions. So I looked into that, and I've talked with YouTube today, and they said that should be fixed. And if it's not, I might have to put an Instagram poll thing or whatever on Instagram and just be like, hey, go over there and check that out and let me know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys all have a fantastic rest of your day. I hope that this vlog gets out to you a little bit earlier today. I got a lot going on. When do I not? But I'm hoping that I can get this to you guys much sooner, or upload it much sooner, so that I can focus on, watching Rebel tonight, and, just not enjoying myself, but just having fun. So my advice for you guys today, remember, confidence is key, but so are your insecurities. Put them together and make them one. And I will see you guys tomorrow for a Friday vlog. Until then, have a great day. Bye.